Today's reading is 1 Samuel chapter 26. This is part of a long narrative about the relationship between Saul, Samuel and David, as how power passes from Saul to David. The storytelling is superb, vivid, detailed. The sense of suspense building up, the cliff edge crisis, the moral victory of the younger man, the inevitability of his succession. It's lovingly told. We know that Saul initially favoured David and promoted him, only to become jealous of his popularity and his military success, and then resentment builds up and paranoia towards him. David flees for his life and lives as a fugitive, living from hand to mouth in the hills with a handful of men supporting him. And the story takes place at this time. More than once, David has Saul's life in his hands, and each time he does not strike. On this occasion, as they creep into Saul's camp at night, past the sleeping guards, Abishai voices the obvious temptation. Let me kill him. Then the kingdom is yours. It's done. But David forbears, content to carry off the evidence that he was there and could have done this. Whatever Saul has done, however much he's persecuted David, he is still the Lord's anointed, chosen as king. So David will not lift his hand against him. That is an example of extreme integrity. In the conversation that follows, Saul sees momentarily the true position, that he is not in danger from David, that David still serves him, and he finds the grace to bless David and wish him success in the future. It doesn't last. His paranoia returns, and David has no illusions about this and takes refuge with the Philistines, as we see in the next chapter. The king of Israel has come out against a single flea, David said to Saul. All Saul's power and strength of arms pitched against a fugitive in the hills. Yet it's clear who wins the encounter. It's clear that this is done without a blow being struck. Quite like the encounter with Goliath. The unmatched sides, the courage of the small person, the nobody, the integrity of faith in God, the unexpected victory. Scripture has a wealth of stories like this, showing that worldly power is not all there is. There are other kinds of strength, other types of victory. The ultimate example of this, of course, is the crucifixion, which looked like total defeat, complete weakness and vulnerability, but turned into triumphal victory in the resurrection. This then is our God. This is how our God works. As Paul recognised in his own experience of weakness, when God told him, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness."